just take this as permission to change your mind about who you are and how you show up anytime you feel like it. That video got a little attention, didn't it? So I figured I would do my makeup and dive a little deeper into the topic of self-image. Y'all, I'm like a glamour girl, but not a beauty buff, if that makes sense. I definitely invest a fair amount of time and money into getting glam services, but I'm not like much of a DIY beauty girl. But back in the day, gosh, I don't know how y'all focus on like doing the thing and talking at the same time, but that's a skill that I have not developed yet. Back in the day, I used to do a lot of personal brand photo shoots, and I would always get my makeup done by a professional makeup artist for my personal brand photo shoots. But it's not because of perfectionism or because I think that people who don't get their makeup done professionally look horrible or anything like that. What I realized early on as I started to create personal websites and try to build my own portfolio to strengthen my candidacy for certain jobs and opportunities and things like that, is that you have to take initiative to present yourself the way that you want to be perceived. Like often we look at photo shoots from celebrities and we know that there's like a whole creative team behind the photo shoot and that there's a specific purpose for it. Like they're gonna be on the cover of a magazine or something like that, right? So we know there's an art director, there's a makeup artist, there's a wardrobe stylist, all of that. But I don't think enough of us think about the impact of art direction and styling when it comes to our personal brand. And so when I started regularly doing personal brand photo shoots, I started treating it like a creative opportunity for me to imagine or reimagine the way that I want to present myself. I like to think about it as if you were styling yourself as a star. Like if you knew that these photos that you were about to take for your personal brand were going to be seen by thousands of people or put on the cover of a magazine, what kind of care would you put into your image? And not only what kind of care, but like what kind of imagination? How would you present yourself knowing that it was going to leave an impression that told people a story about who you are? So I started just doing that for myself for fun. At one point in time, I was doing a personal brand photo shoot like as often as every other month. And it was because I was creating a lot of content for Instagram and I liked my content to look a certain way. So I just built it into my regular way of doing things and getting in the practice of figuring out how I wanted to style those shoots, you know, where I wanted the shoots to take place. Like, did I want to do it at home or did I want to get a location that had a different vibe? Like, it put me in the habit of realizing like my personal style is a visual storytelling opportunity. But what I want people to realize is that there's so many ways to draw inspiration for your personal style from yourself as opposed to trends or what people tell you looks good or what people tell you your audience wants to see. So I'll give you an example. I spent nearly 4 years working in brand management for a chocolate company. And it was a corporate job, but it was in the chocolate business. So it was really fun and it was fairly lighthearted. So it dawned on me at one point while I was working there, why don't I switch up my style a little bit and actually do something that I might not be able to get away with in a more formal corporate environment? I decided to like cut my hair really short and get it dyed fuchsia, like a dark pink. At that point in time, it was a liberating act for me to decide to switch up my style in a way that reflected my environment at that time and just like what I wanted to do. It inspired me to change my perspective on like how I thought leadership looked. I just started to, in general, have a lot more fun with the way that I present myself because why not? Who was gonna check me boo, you know, in the words of Sheree. So when I went back into the office, everybody like loved it. They were so into it. And not only did the people in the office love it, it added to the first impression that people had of me, and it also left them with something to remember. And it also just boosted my confidence. It made getting ready in the morning a lot more fun because I had to think about how does my clothing complement my hair color? You know, what kind of earrings should I wear to really enhance this look? So it brought a little bit more creativity into every single day. So anybody out there who is considering making a change in the way that they look, and they're considering doing something that might be perceived as a little drastic or that might not be understood or whatever, I want to encourage you to go for it. Because I think it sends a message to the subconscious that reminds you, you are the designer of your identity. You're the designer of your life. And you don't need to wait for somebody to tell you you're a star or to give you a good reason to approach your look and your style with an artistic flair. Because the more that you experiment with your personal style, the more you'll realize how much agency you have to modify your destiny or to add a little color to your lived experience. And it might seem like it's about other people's perception of you, but it ends up being about your perception of yourself. So that's why I'm like, if you want to switch it up, baby, do it. I think that's all we're going to do today. Mwah.